Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nerdgasm Podcast, the podcast where we talk about things that are nerdy and things that are naughty. I am the point guard, known as Merlin Sensei. With me is the shooting guard, known as the 12-sided guy. We have a small forward, known as Switch Riggs. Of course, our wonderful power forward, known as the Mupacabra, and our special guest center, Dress Blacks. And that makes us the basketball team known as Nerdgasm Inc.
Did you just
Woo!
use a sports ball reference? Look at you go.
Yeah,
Did you
I had
what
to
you
look up things that come in fives, and then I chose up basketball one.
She's not the small forward because she's tiny.
I don't know. I just read them off in order.
I don't think
She's
I
a
was
power bottom, I think.
I don't
So
think he
power
actually
forward.
I'm not a power bottom. We had this conversation once already before.
That's what a power bottom would say.
I'm not a power bottom.
But
Power bottoms, no power bottoms.
Power bottoms know when they're power bottoms. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, and however you identify.
is Dress
Any
power?
any power bottoms that want to chime in on this, feel free to message us on Twitter or whatever and point out when
That's
we
right.
would know when we're power bottoms.
At Nerdgasm Inc. N3RDGA5MINC on Twitter. Go ahead. Do it. Let's go ahead and get right into it then. I think we've got a bit to talk about. I haven't seen it yet. Moon Knight, the first episode, I believe, hit Disney Plus the other day. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. I'm planning on hanging out with Mo Guns and watching that because that is his absolute favorite Marvel character.
That's a first. I've never heard that before.
Wow.
Neither have I, but he's an interesting person.
I liked the first episode. It was actually very good. I like the psychological part of it.
Mm.
I made sure I watched
I
it.
haven't seen
Episode's out already?
We've
Yeah.
been it's out already.
Episode
We've been
one.
on we haven't gotten
Yeah.
to see it yet.
Also we have the Halo show that came out too. Episode 2 came out this
Hmm.
past week.
That is on HBO Prime, I believe.
HBO
actually,
Max.
It's not called Prime.
No, everybody.
HBO Max.
It's Amazon Prime.
It's on Paramount Plus, everybody.
Paramount Plus.
Thank you, Switch.
Gotcha. Yet
Switch.
another streaming service that people don't want.
We have Paramount Plus. We have it for Discovery, though. I found out Merlin doesn't watch Discovery.
Yeah,
Huh.
why would
Not
I?
only
I
does
don't
he
watch
not
bad
watch
Star
Discovery-
Treks.
He's elitist about it. Of course he's elitist about it. I don't know why I'm saying that like it's a surprise. But I really enjoy Star Trek Discovery. Suck my dick, Merlin.
It was okay.
You
But this latest Picard is actually far better than first season.
Well, I mean,
Good. I really like
hard.
Picard is
I'm a
actually
little disappointed in the premise, to be honest. The whole travel back in time, save the future thing, it's been done to death.
Well,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
a very
convenient. If they travel back in time to our era, then they can just film in modern day Los Angeles.
That's one of the reasons I'm very disappointed.
Well, I mean, that's what they did
Well,
with Star Trek
not
4, The
Los
Voyage
Angeles,
Home.
Made in modern day Los Angeles.
Fuck yes, Noodle.
Do
See,
not knock my RPG.
this right here is the whole reason. That's honest to God. It's the whole reason that we decided to do this as a video show because now when I freak the fuck out and yell about nudes, everybody can see Noodle.
Yeah,
They
That's
can.
the whole point.
everybody sees Switch's fat
Fat
hairy
pussy.
pussy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we really needed. That's what the audience was craving.
Of the little face.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got to pat her the other day and she looked just as pissed. It's fantastic. She always looks. It's wonderful.
Well, considering how famous cats can get these days, I mean, we're on our way to super fucking stardom.
I know, right?
Right.
Let's go all the
She's
way
Look
back.
at that
already-
chunky doodle.
He's already Instagram famous from what I hear from my roommate. So
Can't tell if that's rigatoni or manicotti.
I look like I haven't slept in about 14 days. We're on the road.
Again.
On the road
again.
The road
Wait.
again.
I've been on the road since the 21st.
He's been on the road since the 21st. I've been on the road for the last 2 days, whether I meant to or not. So here we are.
Here we are, born to be kings.
I love that song.
I don't know what that.
It's Queen.
Princes of
Princes
the
of the
Universe by
Universe.
Queen.
I probably do know it, and I just
It's
don't.
the theme from Highlander. No, that's Who Wants to Live Forever. Who
I've never,
wants
I've
to
never
live
seen Highlander.
forever?
Prince of the Universe was one of the themes for Highlander, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wait a second. I got a question. Why
Oh God.
I had to put pants on for this podcast, but he can smoke a joint?
It's legal in
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, he's in
Fuck
King.
you guys. Then everybody can look at my pasty white thighs and fucking deal with it.
Well, I thought we were gonna cover you up anyway for this particular episode.
I thought we were gonna
We'll
get
see.
colitis.
But cover me up.
That's
Thought
strike
we were gonna
one
put you in
on
panties.
YouTube.
That's right, and our YouTube career is over before it started.
We'll just put the
Might as
happy
well
moo.
just drop the N-word.
Boo, no, we don't do that, Merlin.
We don't
No,
do
no,
that.
no.
We would never.
No.
Neurodivergent?
I have
Yes,
there you
that's
go.
the
Those
one.
are- yeah, that's really actually for what you can and can't get away with on YouTube anymore. I had actual stuff to talk about this week, guys, and I'm just like in such a like.
You're blitzed, we know.
I'm not actually, surprisingly.
One drink is all it takes. Ballroom blitz.
No, that's why I have not started the second drink yet. I'm fairly certain if I do that, then I will be in. And I have to do because I value this podcast and I value its educational content.
All
So
right,
this
let's go
week-
ahead and talk about what everybody else in the entire world is talking about. Yeah,
Not
I
Will.
know. I mean, we have to address it. Will Smith slapped the fuck out of Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Yeah,
Now,
she did.
there's a lot of talk going around. Oh, Chris Rock was in the wrong because he made that joke. Will Smith is in the wrong because he reacted with violence. Da-da-da-da-da. This, that, and the other. Personally, and I said this the other day when Moo and Switch came over to play some board games, they're both right.
They're
Chris
both
Rock,
wrong.
as a
Right.
comedian, can go ahead and make any jokes he wants.
Mhm.
Technically speaking, theoretically speaking. However, there are people that are not going to like his jokes, are going to get upset, and there will be repercussions. Now,
Yeah,
I do
you-
not advocate violence in any way, shape, or form. However, Will Smith simply slapping Chris Rock, I think, was, in a matter of speaking, semi-appropriate. Because he made a stance, let him know that that was not okay, and did not, react to with the greatest force possible.
Well,
It was
I don't know.
minimal force.
He slapped him pretty hard. Let's be clear. That
Will
was
Smith acted like a bitch.
he did act
So
like a bitch.
here's what I want to see is because Will Smith did Muhammad Ali, the movie, I believe.
Mm.
Ali, that was-
And Chris Rock grew up poor, short, and a comedian in a rough neighborhood. This guy can take punches, I'm pretty sure. Right? So it solves
They've
the whole thing.
Far too long.
They've both been rich people for very long. Yes.
Well, either way, charity boxing match. Public apology
Oh!
all around. Charity boxing match for the disease that Will's wife has.
Well, I think
Problem solved.
it's a side effect of
no,
alopecia.
the name
yeah.
it's alopecia. She has the alopecia.
And I think Jada should
I
throw
gotta be honest, I
Whatever.
know nothing.
up it all. off.
Alopecia is a scalp condition that basically
It's not-
causes.
Alopecia affects a lot of different areas, but typically
does
it has a lot to. I have a cousin actually that has alopecia, and he has no eyebrows, he has no hair, he hasn't since a very, very, very young age. He has no hair anywhere.
Well, Black Actors Union then, because it's the Oscars. Either way, charity
Yeah.
organization, problem solved.
Not a bad idea. My issue is that some people are trying to drag Will under the bus for being a hypocrite.
He
Because
threw himself.
back in 1993, I believe, or something like that. He was on an episode of Arsenio Hall. Excuse me. And he made a bald joke towards the music director of Arsenio's house band. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Honest to
It's just like-
goodness,
it was 1993. It was a different time. I know that doesn't make it, quote, okay, but it was a different time. You know what I mean? And we
But-
grow as people. Plus, he wasn't suffering from alopecia. I'm pretty sure he shaved his head as a style choice.
but here's the thing that you're also not expecting, like alopecia notwithstanding, his wife's condition notwithstanding, he has made numerous comments in numerous interviews with numerous people about violence, about acting nonviolently, about not reacting with violence, and about the importance of not reacting with violence. Here's the thing, right? And this is a conversation Dressblacks and I had earlier on in this day. Is it nice to feel like you're defended by your man? Absolutely. Is it nice to feel like somebody is on your side? Absolutely. At the end of the day, are you on live television in front of millions of strangers? You bet your ass you are. So you buck the fuck up and you handle it like an adult. And if you need to have that conversation or you need to smack somebody in the face, you do it afterwards when you go outside. You don't do it in front of fucking everybody. And like, because apparently the people at the Oscars asked Will Smith to leave. He refused. That's not okay. You just assaulted somebody on live television. Are you shitting me? And then he was like, no, I will sit down. Thanks. You'll deal with me.
There's opposing reports on that, because it's also been said that 5 minutes prior to him getting his award, they sent one of the staff members to him saying, "We'd like you not to leave." So we'll wait for it all to shake out. But
There's a lot
It'll
of
never-
theories about what it was. The whole thing was scripted. The this, the that, ba 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 da ba. Who fucking cares? In my opinion,
I don't believe it was scripted. Here's why I don't believe it's scripted: is because the Oscar committee has given him their official notice on, because they have to give you like 15 days or whatever prior to them voting on behavior regarding your membership or not, and they've given him notice, so I don't think it was scripted because the Oscar committee would have known.
Here's the thing. This is something that I read this afternoon, and it was something that I hadn't really considered, and it was talking a lot about the fact that Jada is the problematic one. Is actually the one of the accounts that I read. Somebody posted on Facebook that she has.
And all that.
Well, it's not, but it's not cheating. They're open, so it's not cheating. You cannot say they're cheating because their relationship is open, and we have to. No, don't point at me. We have to assume. Again, we can't assume. We can only assume that what he's saying is honest, right? So if he says he's okay with this, we have to assume that it's okay, right? That he's okay that their marriage is open, then their marriage is open. Period. But they talked about her having somebody living with them while he was filming Aladdin, that Jaden moved out during all of this, because I read way too much into this whole fucking situation. They talked about how she has publicly, repeatedly talked about how she'll never love Will the way she loved Tupac. And there's all of this stuff that, like, it's like, Jade is the problematic one. It's not Will. We should feel bad for Will Smith. I think that maybe in all of this, we should just give them some goddamn privacy. Like, I understand that celebrities put themselves out there, but at the end of the day, they're just people. And we've been so fucking focused on this slap. It is all that I've seen on the internet. It's all that I've seen everywhere. And I'm sick of it. Daniel Radcliffe was the one that was like, I was reading an interview about Daniel Radcliffe going, I'm so sick of hearing about this, as I'm sure everybody else is. I refuse to give my opinion on this because I don't think one more person needs to hear. Meanwhile, you have Lady Gaga and Liza Minnelli, this beautiful story that nobody's talking about, right? Where Liza Minnelli and Lady Gaga go on to present this award. And Lady Gaga has a history of working with older celebrities who are suffering from dementia, who are suffering from memory loss, who are suffering from different issues. She worked with Tony Bennett when he was having difficulties performing. She came on stage with Liza Minnelli, and Liza couldn't find her place in her cue cards. And she was like, I don't understand. And, you know, Lady Gaga looks at her and just goes, I got you. And Liza Minnelli goes, I know. And they just go on. And it's just this beautiful moment, but nobody's talking about this because we're all fucking talking about this slap. Everybody was wrong. Everybody sucks. Everybody was right. Good job, everybody. I'm tired of hearing about it. Violence sucks. It didn't. We solved nothing.
Wasn't that one of the themes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air last I checked?
I don't know.
Look, he got
Yes.
into one
Watch
fight.
that growing up, and I remember that avoiding violence was one of the themes of the goddamn show. That's why he got sent to Bel-Air.
He got in one little fight and his mom got scared. There you go. Can we talk about anything else?
Where the fuck is DJ Jazzy Jeff in all of this? Come on, Jazz.
Who knows?
He's in Ukraine.
Switch, we got any games coming out?
We do, and some sad news about one of them though. They've been delayed. On the 5th,
COTW2?
yes. But on the 5th, we have the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, which is episodes 1 through 9. No, I'm sorry, the full thing. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, yeah, nine Lego games, all in one place for the PlayStation, the Switch, the Xbox, and even the PC this time. Yeah.
I love the Lego Star Wars franchise.
Yeah. If you don't like the normal
they-
Star Wars show or movies or any game that they make with Legos, it's hilarious to play with Legos.
Yeah,
It's
any
great.
Lego game is much better than it has any right to be a lot of the time.
It is.
And they're brilliant from a development standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
It's also really great. It's a great way to get kids into those types of games. Like, obviously, normally I don't advocate for getting kids into video games super young because I think independent thought is important. But, like, they're not threatening. Like, you don't die and the whole game's over. You lose your pieces and then you go back to where you started. And it's great. So you have these opportunities to kind of explore these games in a way that's not I was the kind of kid that, like, I got nervous when I played the Nintendo Castles. Like, I had to go get my mom to fight Bowser because I couldn't do it myself. And so I think Lego is nice and non-threatening in that way.
Yeah, definitely. It's a genre of game where I even like playing it because I find that they make the storyline so much more fun and funny. Like, I enjoy the Lego games more than the movies sometimes and how they are presented. Another game that's coming out on the 5th is for me, and I know not for everyone else, but MLB The Show 2022. If anyone likes baseball.
Baseball one.
Baseball.
Which
I would have never pegged you for a baseball video game player.
I like watching normal baseball, and I like actually playing the MLB games. I really, really hate that there's no good baseball game on the computer. There is.
You want to
not.
know the best baseball game of all time is that I'm actually really sad is not on the SNES collection for Nintendo Switch is Ken Griffey Jr.'s Baseball League. I fucking loved Ken Griffey Jr.'s Baseball League for SNES. My friend and I used to play that shit all the time, and she didn't understand that you could, like, move your players to catch the ball in the outfield, and she'd get so pissed because I'd catch the ball every time. Fucking love Ken Griffey Jr.
It is adorable to hear you say SNES.
SNES, that's what it's called. Super Nintendo Entertainment.
First of all, the SNES.
It's
and
not.
the way you group them is SNES.
Yeah, I say SNES. Also
I
SNES.
say SNES.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just depends on the
SNES.
day.
I have never heard somebody 12's age call it a SNES.
I've never heard anybody call it a SNES.
I have only heard small children call it a SNES.
NES and SNES, baby.
It's
Listen, you
it's
call
the
everything a
NES
Coke,
and then the
so-
Super NES. So SNES. I'm aware of what I said. It made sense.
Yeah.
You want to know what happened today, guys?
We
Oh,
didn't
boy.
say it didn't make sense. We're just saying.
I tried to send 12 a very nice picture, right? We were at a Guitar Center, hashtag not sponsored. And once again, I managed to find the acoustic electric ukulele. It's like a little Fender Stratocaster, but they turned it into a ukulele. And when I took the picture, I was aware of it because I even said to Dress Blacks, he's going to make the joke again that this looks like a normal sized guitar in my hands.
I full on thought. No, you think I full on thought that was a regular sized guitar for you.
It only had 4 strings.
So is
I
it
didn't look at the
It's like
I'm
I'm a
looking on
toddler.
my phone.
I recognize that I'm only 5'3", but we keep treating me like I'm this teeny tiny itty bitty
I
baby.
told you there was some forced perspective shit going on.
I did my best to
I am
take
a
the
full
picture.
foot taller than you.
Yeah, okay, fucking you're a giant compared to anybody. That's not a fucking context. Merlin is not that much shorter than you, and he doesn't treat me like I'm a baby.
You're just tiny. Is that what's
Is
wrong
also
with that?
very tall. Switch is remarkably tall, okay? There's a picture that I have where he's hugging me, and he's like a full fucking head taller than me. He also
6'1".
doesn't treat me like a
I
baby.
was gonna say he's
See,
like
he's
6'1".
6'1". You're
Yeah.
6'3". See, Perfect. It'll be wonderful.
It
It'll
just
make
looked tiny in the photo. Relax.
me upset.
We're gonna have to
Why
put
did
her
Daddy,
2
we're
feet
fighting.
forward.
You're the one
2
that
feet
brought it
forward
up.
of the
I
picture.
talk with it.
I wish you could
Guys?
do the. I can't do her sick voice. Yes.
Sound like that.
No, that's your strep throat voice.
I don't
Yes, I can't do
sound
that
like that.
voice. It's amazing.
I'm still working on voice.
I hate you guys so
Alright.
much right now.
So coming, we got a couple more
MLB The
games, but go
Show.
ahead. Yes, MLB The Show. I can't wait to play it. I really wanted to buy the deluxe version, but that's almost $100, and I was like, fuck that. Comes out on April 1st, the deluxe version. But I will be patient and pay my normal $60 to GameStop. There's also the remastering of Chrono Cross coming out on the 7th. For anybody that knows the Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross series, I'm so happy to see this coming out. I'm not going to play it most likely. I'll most likely watch someone play it on Twitch. Go ahead, 12. You going to say something?
Now, because I don't know these games very well, are these related to Chrono Saga, or is that a different franchise?
I don't think they're part of Chrono Saga.
Mm.
Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross came out on the original PlayStation. But these are highly regarded right next to Final Fantasy games. In just the amount of stuff, or just the amount of things you could do. Chrono Trigger had like 13 different endings. Chrono Cross has a few extra, and they remastered the visuals and updated their like to HD level of stuff. I can't wait for it personally. But I definitely will watch someone play that one. If anyone likes RPGs, definitely a way to go to try out an older RPG with updated graphics. And lastly, we have
Oh, you
one
look
game.
like a dragon!
Oh, a baby dragon.
He looks like a dragon. The smoke just went up. He looks like a dragon.
One thing that will not be coming out on the 8th is Advanced Wars 1-2 Reboot Camp, because it got pushed back due to political reasons in the height of
Yeah.
things going on right now.
Wait,
The,
for reasons.
the bad guys in Advance Wars are Russian.
Yeah, bad guys are Russian in
Oh.
there. Yeah, I'm like, really? It's a video
The
game.
bad guys in a lot of games are Russian. The bad guys in
This
like
is
a lot of games,
true.
like
It is.
50% of the movies made
We've
before.
To
been
be
brainwashed
fair-
since young to think communism bad, America
To
good.
be fair, and the YouTube finally gets to see this versus the podcast, I do look like a background. What's that movie with Bruce Willis
Die Hard.
in the? Yes, I do look
That
like
could
a
be
background Die
that
Hard
with
henchman.
Bruce Willis
could
could
see it.
literally be
You do right
so
now, yeah.
many movies.
You got the Aryan race going on. It's all good.
It's the 5 head.
Yeah, that too.
Hey, look,
Um,
90% of movies made before 1991, the bad guys were Russian.
Yeah.
Red Dawn. Does anybody else watch Red Dawn? My mom loves Red Dawn. I've seen the original movie so many times. I've even seen the remake a couple of times. Not as good, obviously, but like if you watch it separate and try not to think about the Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen version, still not a bad movie. But like we watched Red Dawn.
Charlie Sheen
so
or
many
Emilio
fucking
Estevez in that.
It was Charlie Sheen and Patrick
I
Wolverines.
remember the scheme.
Wolverine. I fucking love that movie.
One more game that I'm going to go ahead and talk about real quick. I went ahead and posted it in the Discord for everyone else. So, Moo, if you get a chance to go ahead and add this link to our descriptor, is a game called Toasty. Now, what's cool about Toasty is it's on Kickstarter right now. It got funded like the first day.
Is it
in,
about
like, 3 hours? It is about a hero named Marshall who is a marshmallow.
fuck? Yes.
It is
Yep.
Toasty Ashes of Dusk. One of the people behind this is a streamer by the name of It's Duper. I believe it's _Duper, Dooper. And what he did is he took some of his favorite parts of his favorite video games and was able to kind of fit them inside this game as a love letter to everything he enjoyed as a kid. It's very Legend of Zelda based. It's got a little bit of Final Fantasy in there, specifically Final Fantasy like 7-ish. There's even some like Pokemon elements to it. Like there's
No, I've
just
seen
a
it. It
whole
looks
lot going on.
fantastic.
It looks absolutely adorable. I highly suggest that if you are going to back this at a higher tier, that you go ahead and get in as soon as you can. Because a lot of these versions are going fast, especially the early bird versions and stuff like that. But you could get like a collector's box, collector's certificate, physical copy of the game, digital copy of the game, wallpapers, soundtracks, sticker sheets, keychains. You could even get a plush of the main character Marshall himself.
Oh.
Hashtag not sponsored, by the
That's
way, because this is on Kickstarter. But definitely go ahead and give it a look. It looks so freaking cool. One of the mechanics that I'm just going to talk about because it's adorable is sometimes, just like in Legend of Zelda games, you have to go ahead and light the torches to solve a puzzle. As a marshmallow, you have to light yourself on fire temporarily to light up the torches.
Adorable.
That's cool.
Main
I do
character
have.
sets itself on
Sorry, yeah.
fire. You think it's adorable.
But it just looks so good, and so many extra things have already been hit by the Kickstarter extended goals, and stuff like that. Stretch goals, sorry. And absolutely go support this wonderful game from wonderful creators that play games, know games, love games.
Yeah. Not to overshadow or anything but a board game that's actually coming out by Unstable Games. If anyone has played any of those games, which is like Unstable Unicorns or Here to Slay, I actually own both of them. Amazing board games if you want to play with friends. A new game is coming out. It's called Casting Shadows. Is also on Kickstarter right now. It was looking for $100,000. It's at almost $2 million at this current moment.
Whoa.
$30 to get a base game with cute little cuddly fox bunnies, bears, griffins, serpents, and they won't want to kill each other. It's just a crazy world of fur and death. But it looks like a very fun game. I'm looking at it right now. It looks very Catan-like, resource-based, which I'm highly considering throwing my $40 down so I get a copy as soon as it comes out. But definitely something to look at. Maybe we should make that a new segment. Things to look at on Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We could definitely think about doing that, maybe figure out a way to bring it up on the YouTube vid too, like, hey, check out this thing we talked about.
I'll probably do that later.
Based on mishearing something that Switch said, I had an idea for a website that we really should get the address for.
We will talk about that after.
Kickstarter. Oh my god, that's brilliant.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, I like that one.
Kickstarter. Oh, goodness. All right, let's go ahead and hop into the Geeky Weeky then, I reckon, yes?
Yes.
Wiki.
All right, Sunday, April 3rd. I believe I told you all that it was, for your sneaky peeky, World Party Day. It's also Geologists Day, National Chocolate Mousse Day, National Film Score Day, National Find a Rainbow Day, National Tweed Day, and National Library Week begins.
Can I interrupt everything just real quick? Because I'm so sorry. And then we can go into the Geeky Wiki because this is important. This is super important. This goes back to something that I mentioned weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks ago. The U.S. Navy will name a ship after Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So I
hope it's a destroyer.
The USS Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yes.
I just, they said it is my absolute honor to name the next, it's a replenishment oiler, but still, after the Honorable Ruth Bader Ginsburg, said Navy Secretary Carlos Del Toro in a statement. She is a historic figure who vigorously advocated for women's rights and gender equality. And regardless, I just think that is fantastic. They would go ahead and do that. She was only the second woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. I went on for a whole episode about how much I fucking love Ruth Bader
I
Ginsburg.
remember that. I think that was the name of the episode was I love Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Probably.
Or Ruth Bader Ginsburg can fuck me or something like that.
I don't know. Fucking fight me if you don't like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I think it's so important. But that's Del Toro said, she's instrumental to why we now have women of all backgrounds, experiences, and talents serving within our ranks side by side with their male sailor and Marine counterparts. So fucking go Navy. I'm so excited that they did this. I apologize for interrupting the Geeky Wiki. I just thought this was remarkably important. This just happened today. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. It's the 31st, but I had to put that in there. I apologize. Go ahead, Merwin.
Monday, April 4th, National Walk Around Things Day. Tell a Lie Day, National Cordon Bleu Day, National Vitamin C Day, National Hug a News Person Day. Do we count as news people?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hug us.
I used to work
We
in the
don't-
news.
Oh,
We don't
God.
report. We don't report, but we do,
6 and
It
11.
doesn't
What
say
are
a news
properties?
reporter. It says news
Uh,
person.
One of the properties we manage up here is Global News, so
I guess so.
It's
a little bit.
also International Carrot Day, National Public Health Week, and National Window Safety Week. Tuesday, April 5th, First Contact Day. I believe it is the theoretical day in the Star Trek universe which Earth made first contact with an alien species, aka the Vulcans, according to the movie Star Trek First Contact.
Yes. Which is not the real day because they made first contact before because of a crash landing. But the official day, yes.
of the Borg, yes.
Nah, well, the Borg's the instrument in why the Enterprise was there.
Yeah.
Let's not get
there's
into it.
also, But I mean,
Time
like,
travel,
even if we're
yes.
talking about, First Contact Day and it being from the movie Star Trek First Contact, technically there's the 1955 Roswell incident, so 55?
Somewhere around there.
The Bite of 87? The Bite of 87!
I'm the only one that's. I was gonna
also,
smart ass. No, I'm not, because I'm getting whipped with fucking Twizzlers.
Is she being bratty? I
Yeah.
think there's a building that you have to give on my behalf.
This doesn't exist don't talk about this until we get to the naughty section. We're still on Geeky Wiki. Noodle's still in the room. She has virgin ears.
April 5th is also Go for Broke Day, National Caramel Day, National Deep Dish Pizza Day, National Flash Drive Day, National Library Workers Day, King Ming Festival, Read a Roadmap Day, National Student Employment Week, and National Wildlife Week. Wednesday, April 6th, Day of Hope, National Acai Bowl Day, National Siamese Cat Day, National Sorry Charlie Day. Is that about the seafood? Allows us to pause and reflect on the rejections we faced throughout our lives. Charlie the tuna served as a sports tuna at Starkist for almost 20 years and was notorious for never measuring up as a tuna that tasted good, even though he had good taste. Constantly being told, sorry, Charlie, endeared him to the American public and made him relatable to our everyday rejections. National Student Athlete Day, National Tartan Day for all of you that wear kilts. Ooh la la. Because I believe usually kilts are tartan, yes?
Yes.
Seems like it's Scottish descent.
Yes.
Yep. National Teflon Day, National Walking Day, New Beer's Eve, and Plan Your Epitaph Day. Thursday, April 7th, National Girl Me Too Day. Girl Me Too.
Wait. You
Me
mentioned National Plan Your Epitaph Day. Epitaph, first of all, not epitaph. But
What?
I had a speech teacher, shout out.
EPITAP.
Yeah, but it's not pronounced epitaph. It's epitaph. That gave me the best piece of advice. But also,
I've never heard it pronounced that way.
it's epitaph. But shut up. So, this speech teacher made us all write eulogies. As actually, Merlin, your little sister was in this class with me.
Didn't we promise not to interrupt the Geeky Week?
No, well, maybe we promised not to interrupt the Geeky Weeky, but I'm interrupting it. So your little sister actually was in this class with me, and I had a class with the speech teacher who made us write eulogies.
Senor.
It was not Senor. He made us write eulogies. I will tell you about it later because there's no way
I know who it was.
Yeah. Enice Home Slice. But and so Enice had us write these epitaphs and eulogies. And it was the best piece of advice I've ever been given in a speech class because it was probably one of the hardest assignments I've ever had to do. We didn't necessarily have to write a eulogy for someone who had passed. We just had to write a eulogy. And he gave me the best piece of advice I've ever been given in any speech class, which was if you ever have to do a eulogy, if you can't do it without crying, don't do it because this is not about you. And I am passing that on because I think it's a very valid piece of information. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Anyway, Thursday, April 7th is, I think I figured out how to pronounce it, National Girl Me Too Day. There we go. That sounds right. It's also National No Housework Day, World Health Day, National Burrito Day, National Beer Day, and that makes sense because the day before was New Beer's Eve. So yeah, go ahead, go out, try new beer. National Alcohol Screening Day. So enjoy beer, but of course, do it responsibly, just like everything else we suggest. Friday, April 8th, National All Is Ours Day, National Empanada Day, National Zoo Lovers Day. Finally, Saturday, April 9th, National Cherish an Antique Day, National Chinese Almond Cookie Day, National Former Prisoner of War Recognition Day, National Name Yourself Day, National Unicorn Day. We're talking about the animals.
Hang on, wait. Name Yourself Day. When you were a kid, was there a name that you wanted to be called aside from your actual name?
Just
So
short
I
form.
wanted to change my last name.
Okay.
Not when I was a kid.
And two, we could tell what you were doing on camp, just so you're aware.
12.
Don't worry about
My
it.
picture's not going to matter. Don't tell me.
Yeah, she's going to be fully
Don't at me.
censored the entire time
I'm a
due
cow.
to other actions earlier.
Pixelitis.
I'm a cow, bitch.
But
I'm
yeah,
a cow.
so no, my last name. A lot of people in my family are criminals, so I wanted to do away with that association.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Holly when I was a little girl. There were so many people with my first name growing up in the 80s that I really wanted a different name, and Holly was my preference. Which, oddly enough, I worked an event last weekend with the Catholic Diocese, and he kept asking me if my name was Holly. It's not.
Weird. Saturday, April 9th is also National Winston Churchill Day and Vimy Ridge Day. There's only one M, so I'm assuming Vimy Ridge Day. Canada, 12. Vimy or Vimy?
Well, are you talking about the person or the region?
To honor and commemorate the Battle of Vimy.
Oh, Vimy.
Vimy, okay. There we go. And that is the Geeky Weeky. Your sneaky peeky at next week's Geeky Weeky, starting at Sunday, April 10th. National Cinnamon Croissant Day. Delicious.
That sounds yummy.
Okay, so actually, I have a thing to say about croissants, right? I actually just recently had this conversation with Titmouse because actually Dress Blacks and I guess subsequently Titmouse turned me onto these hashtag not sponsored, but there's a brand called 7 Days, and 7 Days makes croissants, right? And they make vanilla filled and chocolate filled and like strawberry vanilla filled and all manner of different things.
I don't know if they're crispy and soft at the same time.
But they're not, okay? So this is a conversation that I just had with Titmouse, right? The problem with 7 Days croissants is they make their dough too heavy. A croissant is made with a laminated dough. It's supposed to have layers. It's supposed to be flaky. And 7 Days in their quest to do whatever the fuck they're doing with the filling, just, excuse me, goodness gracious, does not laminate the dough properly. And so that is my problem with 7 Days croissants. We had a whole conversation.
Oh no.
Aha.
That's awkward.
That's
Moo,
awkward.
She's broken.
Well, Moo will go ahead and join us here in a little bit again, probably. Let's go ahead and talk about the naughty side of things. Does anybody
Well,
even
what do you
have
want to
anything
know?
to talk about?
I realized that me turning someone else on turns me on more than someone trying to turn me on.
I could see that.
So is this you coming out officially? Like I'm a service top? Is that what we're hearing?
No, not particularly.
Well, I
This is a
think that,
position I was in.
yeah, I think that everybody in some way, shape, or form likes to feel like that they're sexy when somebody else responds to, you
Oh God,
positively
yes.
in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, it's a confidence boost, and
Like,
that's
I don't
just.
have to show up on the YouTube with like these jeans. That's why I wear these.
Do you have pre-stressed jeans?
I have pre-stressed jeans. I know.
What? I mean, just from your outfit now, what is this 1990s grunge era 12?
Hey man, it works. That's
Anyway, unfortunately, we've lost Moo, and now
lost
Merlin is Moo in my little
Hi.
overlay.
My name is Moo. I go Moo. Moorlin.
moving. Yes.
Alright.
I don't know.
But yeah, I don't
I-
have a too
I'm
much.
thinking about getting a pole installed.
There you go.
Well, the neighbor's a pole dancer. Right.
Interesting.
And I've been talking to more and more of them. It's great for your core strength.
I was about to
Mm.
say, like, I've heard that it's, good for core strength.
Well,
I thought
and
about
one
it,
of the members of my other communities is an aerial acrobatics instructor, a pole dance instructor.
Oh,
Right. Recently taken to TikTok. Just got some surprisingly negative comments. So the whole of the community is just like, no, we're having having none of this. That's when I decided to take up pole dancing, which in of itself has led to some encounters, as it were. I there are moments where like I'm surprised it took me this podcast knowing you guys to have that moment of like, wait a second, I was there fixing a dishwasher, right? Like it's just like, oh God, I am a
Yeah. You
um,
are the stereotype 12.
you are.
Ugh.
You're our favorite stereotype, though.
listen,
The
Linda.
Canadian pothead himbo.
I-
But for everyone out there, don't think of every pole dancer as a stripper. It's definitely for a lot of other people.
It's true. I mean, a lot of people now, as sexy as belly dancing can be, absolutely, but it's also quite an
Belly
art
dancing,
form
pole
in and of
dancing.
itself as well.
Yeah.
my
Just
back
because
hurts at the mention of belly dancing.
it can be erotic, but any type of dancing can be erotic if you think about it, if it's done correctly, so to speak.
It's true.
I used to do belly dancing back in the SCF.
For
Why
your
my
core,
back hurts at the mention of it.
for your core, doing it for your core there.
Oh no, I was doing it for the gays. That's the only reason I took up belly dancing was just
Aha.
like, oh, Listen,
I
I
fixed
admit
it.
I'm a himbo.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah, we kind of moved on a little bit to the
Yeah, I heard I only did it for the gays.
yeah,
I'm
belly dancing.
basically. Listen, I like the looks, okay?
Okay, this is something I actually want to talk about because you said this to me earlier, and I recognize that there is a level of anti-feminism or what have you in any woman saying that they do it for the gays, right? And gays, I'm specifying this as gays, Gaze, for the gays, for
Yeah.
people
Oh.
looking at me. I think there's a certain level of power in acknowledging that you like to be looked at. There's a certain level of power in acknowledging I like to look good when I go out.
How
You
is that
know,
anti-feminist?
I think there is a certain mindset that if you do things to be admired, that it is anti-feminist. I like to be looked at. I don't think there's anything bad in it.
I think it is anti-female, bred into the conversation by toxic masculinity.
I agree with that. There's an actually, I saw this on, I think it was Pinterest. Somebody had taken a picture of a very old sculpture, and I could not tell you which one, but it's one of the sculptures where she's kind of standing. She doesn't have arms, or maybe she does have arms, or she's missing an arm. A lot of those.
No.
It's not Venus de Milo, but it's one of those sculptures that is missing a limb.
One of the
But
Valkyrie or something.
she's got one arm up, and somebody photoshopped it or put a phone in her hand and whatever, and they've turned it into a vanity type of thing. And that's the oddest thing, right? Is it was okay for her to be in this pose when a male was looking at her, but now that we've made it that she's admiring herself, it's vain. It was okay when it was a male gaze, but when it's her own gaze, it's a problem. And I think there's this mindset that we, as women, it's anti-feminist to enjoy the way that we look, right? And I fully recognize that, like, some days I do dress for other people. I dress because I enjoy the way other people look at me. I don't think it makes me less of a feminist because of this.
Well, let's first acknowledge that there are toxic feminists.
Absolutely.
Okay.
110%.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. But to me, the definition of feminism has always been to be able to do what you want within reason and be treated as an equal. And that's really,
basically,
that's the core of it. It has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has nothing to do with the way you look. It has nothing to do with what you choose to do with your life. It has to do with being empowered to make those decisions for yourself.
I agree with that 110%.
Okay.
I feel ultimately, yes, that's the goal of it.
I feel like largely, though, we have warped this definition of femininity. Excuse me. I am the first person to acknowledge my definition of what makes me happy as a woman is very different from what would make most feminists, quote unquote, happy, right? I had this conversation a long time ago, right? I was in undergrad. I was in RA, and I remember I was speaking with one of my duty partners who had accidentally, funny story, had gone to turn around to go through a doorway and had grabbed for the doorknob and not realized I was standing behind him. Full on honked my boob, right? Like, and big ol' hand. He's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Tit. Let's continue rounds. And I was like, you're fine. Like, it's okay. I recognize, right? Like, I was standing in your way. You did not mean to grab a handful of me. It happened. And I had a conversation with him about how, like, I just had sort of this mindset of, like, how neat would it be to be in, like, if we were back in the era, it was okay, where we were just in a log cabin somewhere where I spent the day cooking and my husband wrestled on the floor with the kids and the dogs, and his face just wiped, right? And he was like, oh my God, I've always dreamed of that too. And I was like, look, I recognize that this is not a super feminist thing to want, right? I should want fulfillment. I should want a career. I should want all of these things. And I do want all of them separately, but also I really enjoy that idea, right? I enjoy the idea that someone would be so excited to come home to me, that I would be the fulfillment in their life. I really like that. And I can't I'm 33. Spoiler alert. I'm 33 years old and I'm done apologizing for how I feel about things. I think to be desired is not a bad thing. It's not that I don't want things for myself. It's not that I don't want a career. It's not that I don't want all of these big lofty goals. I also really enjoy the idea that my husband would come home and be like, I'm excited to fuck the shit out of that woman right there. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I'm not going to apologize for it anymore. I don't think this is a bad thing. Husband, whatever, insert whatever pronoun, descriptor, whatever, partner, other person, significant other, blah, 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 blah.
Significant other.
I enjoy the idea of being desired. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to be desired. I can still have all of those other things. I can have all those other goals, but I can be enjoyed as well. And it's not just somebody taking from me, it's somebody enjoying things. There was a point to that, and I lost it somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, whatever the point may have been, it was definitely a poignant speech, and I think it's a good place to go ahead and wrap things up this week.
Really?
So,
Yes.
as always, thank you all so much for listening to us this week here on the Nerdgasm Podcast, the podcast where we talk about things that are nerdy and things that are naughty. You can go ahead and find us a couple of different places on the internet. For instance, you can go ahead and find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Merlin_Sensei. You can also go ahead and find me on Twitter at MerlinSensei, all one word. And you can also go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/MerlinSensei. I'll post an episode on there again one of these days once I stop being lazy. Maybe the warm weather will help light a fire in my ass.
Maybe.
Under my ass.
Well, if you use a
no
magnet,
fire in your ass, that's herpes. Or
maybe it's warming lubricant. They make some wonderful lubes that have the warming effect, and that's quite possibly that's what you're feeling, right?
assuming you're not allergic to the ingredients.
Yeah.
Then there's an allergic reaction.
hemorrhoids, that's the one I was thinking of. Not herpes. Herpes is a different issue usually. Although, I guess you could get ass herpes.
Can you get ass herpes?
I would think you could probably get herpes on any orifice, to be completely honest.
Probably.
And you can find me Switch Rigs at switchrigs.live with the
Double G.
all my social medias are at the top of the screen. You can click on them to go to them. We are definitely doing more with YouTube now. Almost finished with Tunic. That'll all be up soon. And I can't wait to move on to the next game. So that's where I'm at.
I've been 12-sided guy, the Dodecahedron, your dungeon master and tabletop. You can find me online at, don't give me that look. Yes, tabletop, I said it. You can find me online at 12sidedguy.online. For those of you that already follow me, like on TikTok, keep your eyes open for Lich Please. Manifestation and goal setting with a fantasy veneer.
Sounds interesting.
I'd like to discuss how Twitch, how 12 has that many followers with no actual videos. I don't understand how he has done it.
Engagement with creators, baby.
But I do engage with creators. I don't understand it. I think it's batshit crazy, but that's neither here nor there. They have been Merlin Sensei, Switch Rigs, and 12-Sided Guy. I continue to be the Moopacabra. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at Moopacabra, Moopacabra. Fantastic. I can still spell it. That's amazing. I hope that you check out my content. There are a series of recent videos. I have been back on Twitch. It's been a while, but I have been back on Twitch. You can see such wonderful highlights as Merlin getting a hatch slammed in his face on Dead by Daylight. It makes me laugh so much. You can see me play. You did deserve that hatch. I agree with you. It's rare that I say it, but I agree with you. And he slammed it right in your fucking face, and it still hilarious. You can watch me yell at Pyramid Head and call him Daddy for a solid 10-15 minutes. It's a good time. So if you want to check out my Twitch streams, you can find the past streams. If you want to check out my TikTok, you can see the highlights. All of those, it's fantastic. We're happy to hear from you. Goodness gracious. Collectively, you can find the four of us on Twitter at Nerdgasm Inc. That's N3RDGA5MINC. We post new episodes typically every Wednesday and every Sunday. This past Wednesday, I apologize, there was no King Talk. Dress Blacks is our editor for that particular brand, and he was out of town because sometimes you gotta work. So feel free to catch up on our old episodes. You know what? Feel free to revisit the old episodes and go ahead and tweet us about what you'd like to see next. You can tweet us on Twitter. Yeah, that was correct. At Nerdgasm Inc. That's N3RDGA5MINC. We would love to hear from you. Give us questions, give us comments, give us critiques, give us fan art, give us a big middle finger. Just give us something.
So, as always, dear listeners, I ask you, as I usually do, to please be excellent to each other.
Enjoy yourselves and love yourselves and give yourselves grace. Give yourselves whatever you feel like you deserve this week, because you know what? You do. You deserve it. You are fantastic and we love you. Thank you so much for being here with us.
The struggle is not failure.
You said that
Yeah, we
last
already
week
used
or
that
the
one.
week before.
I'm going to keep on using that because that's the one that seems to resonate.
Okay. Normally I say something naughty at the end of this part, but don't forget, everybody, we're on YouTube now, and I'm sorry, Moo will be fully censored this episode due to some clothing loss. So,
Fully censored.
I apologize.
No.
Just the square the whole time.
Yeah, her entire square will be censored, but you'll see the rest of us and Noodle. So
Yeah.
maybe
I
eventually
wish
we can
that
find.
we could say,
Huh?
I wish that we could say youtube.com/nerdgasminc, but we can't yet.
No, we
So-
cannot. But you can search Nerdgasm Inc. with our normal spelling and find the YouTube channel.
N3RDGA5MINC.
And
You should be
our
able to find us.
March 20th and March 27th episodes will be on the actual YouTube as well. You won't see our faces, but
exciting.
yes, they will be on there. They were premiering on April 1st and April 2nd, which is wobbly timey-wimey. But
Yep.
you'll have them there if you want to listen to them on YouTube now.
Yep.
But stay naughty, everybody.
Yep. Until next time, friends, we will go ahead and talk at you later. Bye for now.
Bye, friends.
Bye.